Well, our reporter Samkele Maseko is there for us and we cross to him live. Very good afternoon to you, Sam. Thank you so much for joining us. First of all, what message is the ANC leadership hoping to send by hosting such a massive gathering here at this symbolic venue rather than in a smaller, more controlled environment?
The ANC leadership is essentially saying that it is time to get back to basics and to work for the people. For instance, the president of the ANC in his remarks and marching orders basically said that if ANC councillors don't work for the party, don't resolve the service delivery challenges that are facing communities, such as sewage spills on the roads, such as leaks of water and lack of water provision in communities, that will ultimately mean the death of the ANC. But I'm going to bring in our political editor at the SABC, Mzwandile Mbeje, just to dissect the speech of the president of the ANC. Mr. Mbeje, just the dissection of the speech of the president of the ANC. If you don't work for the ANC, speaking to his councillors, it's the death of the ANC. We might as well pack up and go home.
I think the president, Samkele, realizes that it's only a year before the next local government elections. If the situation continues in the same manner, so clearly as the ANC, so they have no chance. And I think that's why he used the phrase death, or, we move on now, we decide to change now. So the realization is that his councillors, 4,000, almost 5,000 of the councillors that represent the ANC, may not have done so well. Yes, there are pockets of excellence here and there, but generally there's a lot. That is why people are complaining about service delivery, so many other things. So the marching orders from the president, and I think it's against time now, Samkele, because they are left with a year. If nothing changes between now and then, so he realizes that perhaps it may be time up.
When you look at some of the speech, particularly on municipal officials who don't take directives from the executive, saying that they must be shown the door, they must be kicked out, there is always that frictious and contentious relationship between the officials and the executive. How are they going to go about dealing with that particular issue, noting that the ANC in some metros doesn't have outright majority?
You know, one of the criticisms that has been leveled against the ANC in the past is that they normally have good policies, good intentions of wanting to do things. But where they lack, it's implementation. That's not the first time the president is speaking about getting people out who are not doing the work. So now they're even at a situation where they are compromised because they don't have outright majority. So they would have to find a way of negotiating. But if then they are serious, if this is a turning point for the ANC, as the president has said, where they have full control, we want to see that happen. Go across the country. People are complaining everywhere. Let's see the action happen there. Disobotla at some point was in the hands by and large of the ANC. So what happened? Nothing. So the issue again of factionalism, that's what they need to deal with. But this is the song that has been sung for so many decades. Will it ever end? The jury is still out.
Will they be able to revive their dwindling electoral fortunes going into the 2026 local government elections? You look at the large contingent of councillors of the ANC from KwaZulu-Natal, knowing the impact that the MK party had in Gauteng, in Mpumalanga, and also in KwaZulu-Natal. What are you looking at, particularly looking at the fight that is currently there for the control of wards in the country? In
fact, the ANC has a year to demonstrate if it wants to stay in power. I think they do have a bit of a green light in that, look at the by-elections. Most of the by-elections, they still win. So which that tells you that some people still have confidence in the ANC. But that confidence will not last permanently. So they have a year to decide if they are really serious about turning the situation. If between now, which is September, and November 2026, things remain the same, it will be a very difficult time for them.
Thank you very much, Mzwandile Mbeje. That is our political editor, Mzwandile Mbeje, dissecting the speech of the ANC president, basically saying that service delivery or death for the African National Congress.